Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I stand before you today not as a politician or an expert, but simply as a regular mom. A mom who stayed at home, who spent her days navigating the chaos and the wonder and the joy of raising a child. For me, parenting has always been the most beautiful dance one can do. I watched my daughter move from being a baby to a toddler, to taking her first wobbly steps, to a spirited school-aged kid, and then watched her move through the turbulent teen years, then becoming an adult. And I want to lean into that word, becoming. Becoming. Because no adult simply becomes an adult overnight. It doesn't magically happen. When the clock strikes midnight on their birthday, when they turn 18, there's no manual handed to them that says, hey, congratulations, you're an adult now. Here's everything you need to know. Becoming an adult is a process. It's learning, stumbling, questioning, growing. And let me preface this by saying parenting is beautiful, yes, but it is also terrifying. Any parent knows that you thought you knew what worry was, you thought you understood anxiety, but nothing compares to the worry you feel when you're raising a child you love more than life itself. And that time when they are becoming, when they're not quite a child, but not yet fully an adult, is one of the most fragile, precious times there is. It's a time for them to explore who they are, to make choices, some good, some bad, and to learn from them. That's why I have deep concerns about legislation that tries to micromanage good, caring parents, but will miss very real harms caused by bad ones. Because as much as we hate it, there are parents out there who abuse their children, who would refuse medical service because they are afraid that it would be found out that they're abusing them. There are parents who control and isolate and manipulate. Some parents assault their children in ways that as good parents, we will just never, ever understand. There are parents who are married to enablers, who ignore the harm happening under their very roofs. And what will happen to those children? Those incredibly vulnerable young people depending on their abuser for everything, for food, for shelter, for survival, and nowhere else to turn, who will be forced to disclose assault in order to get medical care. Too many will keep that hidden too. It's easy for us to legislate from a place of fear. From the fear that the babies we love are growing up, gaining agency, making decisions we may not always like. As parents, it's natural to want to hold on tighter, to tighten the reins, to be the only voice, the only guide. But I'm here to tell you that's not the way. That's not how we truly protect our children. We protect them by preparing them, by teaching them to make good choices, to think critically, and maybe even more importantly, to trust themselves. My daughter is 28 years old now, and there were plenty of moments when stepping back was hard, when I had to take a deep breath and let her make her own decision, even when I was terrified. But I knew deep down that it was more dangerous to raise a daughter who only trusted me than to raise a daughter who trusted herself. Because what if one day she needed help and she was too afraid to come to me? What if she was facing something she couldn't say out loud even to her own mother? And I would have rather had her get contraception behind my back than suffer a deadly infection or live with a lifelong medical condition. Our job as parents is not to control every single move. It's to give our children roots and then give them wings, and it's to guide them as they become. Members, vote down on this bill.